Hello YouTube, it's Alec here with Yu-Gi-Oh! Underground, coming at you now with a top 32 deck profile of the Constellars I took to the St. Louis Yeti Regional. I did end up sticking with Constellars after all, and the week between Lenexa and now, I did not have time to playtest anything else, but I felt like I would take the lessons I learned from Lenexa, apply them to this regional and see how things turned out. And as you can see, I went from 69 to 32, so things panned out very well for me. The night before, I tried to run an extremely stun version of Constellars, and it just didn't work. It wasn't my play style, so I played something very similar. So we're going to do the deck profile really quickly because I really hit on most of the explanations on Lenexa, and I can just hit the cards briefly that I changed. So, getting right on into it, we're going to start 3 Pollux, 3 Kaos, 3 Algidi, 3 Sombre, 2 Sheraton, 2 Effect Veiler, 2 Maxi, 1 Honest, 1 Bear. Was not playing the Bear in Lenexa, but Bear put in a ton of work, just that extra utility off Tenki, drawing it when you have dead Tenkies on field just to make that destruction play. Don't cut Bear. I was being stupid in Kansas City. I have no idea why I cut Bear. It's too good. Rotas, Tenkies, Upstart Goblin, that. 3 Upstarts, 1 Lance, and the new addition, Constellar Star Cradle. I honestly put this card in because we were discussing it on the way down. Didn't know what to think of it, but I noticed that a lot of the builds that had done more successfully than I had in Lenexa were playing this card, and so I decided to try it out for this regional. It paid off tenfold. Star Cradle is an amazing card. Like, there are a lot of turns where you won't be attacking because of Fiendish Chain, because of whatever reason, because you're reading Mirror Force and you want to get an M7 effect off. You can just play this, add 2 Constellars to hand. It's so good. Like, at least that's a Leedy's play, and at most you're picking up Sombre. You top deck at late game and you pick up a couple Sombres, and you are just good to steamroll that game out. This card is amazing. You should absolutely try it if you have not already discovered it. 2 Safe Zones, 1 Compulse, 1 Psalm Warning, 2 Emptiness, 2 Fiendish, and 1 Torrential. Decided to be a little bit more aggressive this time and played the Torrential. I still dislike Bottomless because there's a lot of stuff that gets around Bottomless. But Torrential is a card that can just, if you're in a bad position, if your opponent makes that play to push on you for game, you can just flip it and save you, and the Torrential paid off huge amounts. Won me a good amount of games, but we can discuss that in the tournament report. Did not organize this, but extra deck, it was the exact same extra deck. A Degen, 2 Omega, Tyrus, a Parasape, a Starliege, number 61, a Direwolf, a Geiger Cowboy, a Dweller, a Crazy Box, a Gaia Charger, just the extra Omega, the 2 Leedy's, and the M7. Exact same extra deck, card for card. Side deck, switched it up a little bit. Played the 2 Decrees again because I did not get a chance to see how that worked in Lenexa, and it worked amazing. Like, I only have 9 traps in the main deck. In the matches I was siding Decree against, I also tended to side 2 Forbidden Lance in for different traps that were less effective in those matchups. And just that combo of Decree absolutely killing their deck while having most of my deck still live, and the option to Leedy's Bounce Decree, should I need to use the traps that I do have set, was just really worked out. Decree is quite phenomenal in the matchups that are really trap heavy. If you're playing a stun deck, like, I definitely advise Decree, because if they have the MST, they have the MST, but if they don't, like, you just win. 2 Zach Lockdowns, 2 zombie worlds because I do listen to you subscribers. Someone commented in my 69th Lenexa video to try out Zombie World, and so I did. I did not see it all day, so the Zombie World DNA surgery conflict in my heart carries on. 3 Iron Wall, bumped it to 3 because it beats dragons, beats spellbooks. That's really what you want to beat, so 3 Iron Wall. 1 Soul Drain. Don't know why I completely forgot about this card in Kansas City, but it should be in there. 1 Dust Tornado, just because I knew the night before I'd gone to a tournament at Yeti's, just pre-testing, and I noticed that a lot of the Dragon Ruler players in St. Louis were packing skill drains, and a lot of Dragon Ruler and Mermail players were packing skill drains in the side deck, and so I wanted to have that out to skill drain, because skill drain just destroys this deck. Honestly, probably would have played 2 Dust Tornadoes if I had to switch it. And then 1 Smashing Ground. I cut the Dark Hole and cut the second Smashing Ground, but I felt like I should keep 1 in. Honestly, it was unwise of me to cut the Dark Hole and the other Smashing Ground because I ended up playing 3 mirror matches, guys, and that was just... it was, you need cards like Smashing Ground and Dark Hole to cheat their leadies if you're playing in the mirror match, and I did not sideboard anything that was terribly effective for the mirror match, and that ended up kicking my butt. We'll discuss that in the tournament report. And last, followed the route of Vince LaRosa and his Prophecy and teched 1 Pachycephalo. Didn't see it all day, but it would have been really funny if I would have resolved it. So that's the deck, guys, and... quick run through my rounds. Agents 2-0'd, Game 1 Honest, Game 2 Vandy's Emptiness. Local player from Yeti's, very good. Was not expecting Agents from him, but he piloted the deck well. Second, Blackwings, good friend of mine and fellow Yugi tuber, Kamal. I 2-0'd him. He was playing Blackwings, which isn't a deck. But despite not being a deck, Kamal piloted it very well. We ended up playing an extremely intense grind game 1, and best I've seen them play. But I don't believe Blackwings are like a tier deck this format. Sorry, guys. If I just offended every Blackwing player out there. I'm sorry, guys. You're not playing a real deck. Round 3, Infernity 2-1. The Infernity player ended up going on to get his invite, I believe. He was X3 the last I had talked to him. Very friendly guy, very skilled player. Game 1, I just had the traps that I needed to stop him from going off. That clutch Torrential. Game 2, Infernities do as Infernities does, and Game 3, I just ended up drawing into my side deck Decree to lock out his 5 back row and deck lockdown to stop the Archfiend he had put on top of his deck with Laval Chain, and that was the end of that. Round 4, ended up playing fellow Yu-Gi-Oh! Underground member Jeff Percher. He was still playing Prophecy. Not the exact same build that him and Vince were piloting in Lenexa. This one was very teched, but he took me down in the swiftest of 2-0s. Had the warning both games, but was beating me so badly that he didn't even need it. He mercy warnings me so he could end the game faster and we could go get lunch. And very brutally defeated. Didn't see my side deck cards game 2, and could not come ahead over Prophecy. Definitely the Constellar's worst matchup in this format. Round 5, I played another Yu-Gi-Oh! Underground member. We ended up having a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Underground members paired against each other this time, which is a bummer for sure. But I played Zach Bush. Game 1, he actually stole from me, which is odd because he was playing Evil Swarms, if you didn't already know, and I was playing Constellars, which means I should have had that in the bag. But he took Game 1. I was very frustrated. Game 2, we both opened all monster hands, but I went first, and of course, when you all open all monster hands and I get my Leady's boss monster on the field, that's just nothing you can really do there. Game 3, I won using the epitome of skill. And if by skill you mean Royal Decree, and if by epitome you mean he didn't have MST. So, very Pretty good. They're surprised they got game one, but ended up playing out nicely. Round 6, mirror match. I won the die roll. He who wins the die roll wins the match in a Constellar mirror match, unless very odd circumstances come out. Round 7, played Dragon Rulers. Game 1, took that pretty easily. He opened pretty badly, and I ended up having double leadies on him, and it was just pretty much over from there. Game 2, opened everything he needed. Opened his sided skill drains, opened his 7-star sword, his gold sark, just toolboxed his deck, and I was done. Game 3, I ended up drawing 2 MST and Dust Tornado to get rid of his side deck skill drains and all of his pesky back row, and was just able to roll over him. So I was going X1 in round 8, and I felt pretty good. And I ended up getting a feature match, but I played a Constellar mirror match. I lost the die roll, guys, and he just, he who wins the die roll wins the match. Game 1, I opened so badly, I had to scoop just so that he didn't know what I was playing. Game 2, rolled over him. Game 3, we ended up in a grind game. I thought I was actually going to cheat the whole He Who Wins the Die Roll rule that time, but he was playing 2 Call the Haunteds, and he just looped them with his leadies to gain enough advantage to break the grind. And round 9, I played another Constellar player, another phenomenal guy. My round 8 and round 9 opponent had known each other, and I think that they had tested for the mirror match quite well, which I did not do because there are not other Constellar players in my local area who I test again. I actually won the die roll, but he ended up having enough support to break my win, and my lack of side-decked cards for Constellars came and bit me again, and so I lost round 9, finished the tournament X3, but top 32, since all of my tiebreakers were X2, except Jeff, I think. He might have been. Don't take my word on it. You'll probably find out when he does his deck profile. That was the tournament. Got 32nd place, met a lot of great people. Always enjoy Yetis. Did not get as much coverage as I would have liked to. I was only in town for that day, and I really wanted to see my family since it's been a while, and so I did not stick around much longer after getting that 32nd place and filling out the invite paperwork and leaving. But overall, great event. I learned a bit about Constellars. I don't know if I would. I don't think I'm going to revamp the side deck and try to do better with them. I got my invite, which is what I wanted out of the deck, so I think I'm shelving it up for a little while and playing something refreshing. But certainly feel free to leave anything you want in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, because progress is good, and top 32 feels pretty good out of 308 players. Definitely a successful day for me, and a successful day for the Underground overall, as myself, Zach Bush, Jeff Percher, and both the Merchant Brothers all got their invites. A very successful day for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Underground, and some very successful day for other local St. Louis players who I know from playing at Yetis in the past. So, very good event, but that's really all I have left to say. Take care, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Underground's kind of